I think this will be a perfect place to jump into asking you for a story. Something memorable that's happened to you in your life related to volcanoes, geology in general, anything.
My volcano story is when I was doing my undergraduate mapping, and I, grew up in Cornwall. I had never been on a holiday abroad until I was 19. And for my undergraduate mapping, me and one of my friends saved up money and we decided we were going to go to Santorini and map the Santorini, parts of Santorini. And luckily back then we didn't need field assistance. That was a thing. That was a thing that didn't happen. So we were able to go out. These two young women were able to go out to Santorini and spend 6 weeks on different parts of the island together.
Not a bad way to do your mapping.
Yeah, it wasn't. And I just remember every day the sheer awe of waking up in that place, and almost it feeling spiritual, the level of intensity of that scenery. And I've always been one to kind of wax lyrical about scenery and get really kind of absorbed in it. But Santorini is pretty special. And one day we weren't very well off on this trip. We were really scrimping, and we went for days when all we would eat was like a €1 Eros for our tea, and that would be dinner. This €1 Eros. But we saved up and we did one of the volcano tours out to the middle of the island. And I remember we stood on the rocks in the centre on near Camini, and just realising that this was like the youngest rock I'd ever stood on. And I think it would have been about 50 years old. And people are going to be emailing you in saying she doesn't know her Santorini geology. I think it was about 50 years old, the last eruption there. And I remember us both just standing on this rock and just looking around us. You're stood in the middle.
Yeah.
And you look around the caldera surrounding you.
You can literally just turn on the spot, can't you? Full 360 panorama.
It was just an immense experience, and really something that's tied me and that friend together for a really long time, actually. And then, I was hooked. That was my first experience of ever visiting an active volcano. And after that really solidified in me this desire to understand these beasts and how they worked and their unpredictable nature. But for sure, my research interests have changed since that point, and I've changed so much since that 19-year-old stood on that rock. But it was pretty definitive in terms of giving me a sense of what I wanted to do with my life.
And have you been back and stood on that rock?
No. But just before COVID hit, I did get some research funding to do a project on Santorini.
Fantastic.
And I was so delighted at the prospect of going back. And then COVID hit. So I'm very fortunate, touch wood. Me and my family have been safe during COVID, so I can't complain. But it's a shame that I haven't been back to Santorini yet. So hopefully, Sam, next year, I'll get to use that money.
For the full conversation, head over to the VolcaKnowledge website or search VolcaKnowledge wherever you listen to your podcasts.